Back to this onslaught of myself, Jazz Vengeance, and today we're going into a little history of Jazz Vengeance, and what's supposed to be me showing you why I have the titles I do, which, I mean, if you've been watching our show regularly and you've seen other matches, you know how I got my titles and know that I'm very worthy of my titles. However, I have to be the first one to say I'm probably my biggest critic ever, and I'm very disappointed in my performance in these. However, now these matches, these preset ideas, if you would, they were predetermined. I have to be telling you that you guys, the fans, have given us the people that you guys wanted to see, you know, me kind of show off or show, and you know, what would happen if Jazz Vengeance took on this one or that one and whatnot. Well, here's an example of an individual you guys wanted to see me in the ring with. And in case you don't know who that is, because it's been a little while since you've seen him maybe, that right there is UFC, former UFC champion, current Universal champion for WWE, I believe. Brock Lesnar, you know, maybe you heard of him. The Beast Incarnate, whatnot, all kinds of lineages and, you know, all kinds of names and such. And, you know, quite frankly, if it sounds like I'm a little disheartened, it's just because I've been shocked by two performances right now. And quite frankly, I really feel like I need this win. And this might be a challenge for me to beat Brock Lesnar. He's probably, and you know what? I'm gonna probably piss off people, including probably people in my own family. But I actually have a lot of respect for the one and only Brock Lesnar. I know that's gonna get a lot of sour grapes for a lot of people out there, but you know, I actually listened to his book, the Clutch of Death or whatnot, or Death Clutch, whatever it's called there, his book that he wrote, the memoirs. And if any of you guys have ever read that book or listened to the book or whatnot, then you kind of understand how and where Brock Lesnar comes from. And quite frankly, after listening to the book and whatnot, you know, I'm able to, you know, one of the gifts that I've had, you know, my life is I'm able to look at different aspects of different types of things. I can separate myself from a situation and look at it at different angles. And I can see, you know, where a lot of people don't like Brock Lesnar. He gives off that persona, that attitude. As we're about to see a deep fried Oreo driver, and there it is.
Nicely done.
Sorry, got a little excited there, because that is the deep fried Oreo driver that has put away a lot of people.
That was close, so close.
But not
just
him
needs to
right
do
now.
More damage. He's got no quit in him tonight.
Anyway,
does he ever, Michael?
like I was saying, I have a lot of respect for Brock Lesnar. I know a lot of people don't, and I know that he's, you know, not on TV every week and not defending his title every week and all this other stuff. Well, I'm going to give you a little history lesson. Maybe you guys have forgotten about wrestling and whatnot. And now, I myself, growing up, I've always loved wrestling. I've been enthusiastic about wrestling. I've studied wrestling. Even in wrestling school, you know, I learned from a legend in wrestling that I went beyond my years in wrestling. I'm an individual. I know this is gonna, you know, I don't know how this is going to react, but I'm just going to say it anyway. I am not only a wrestling, I'm a wrestler, yes, and I've been in the wrestling business for a long time, like I said. I love the wrestling business. I love the aspect of it. I love the entertainment value of it. In all honesty, what it really comes down to is the adrenaline. And by the way, well, that was quick. So what Roman Reigns could not do, I just did. Just pointing that out. But that makes me a little proud, I'm going to say. That put me in a little bit of a better mood, so I'll probably cheer up now. But I just wanted to, you know, one final thing about, you know, Brock Lesnar, you know, is all that. But, you know, Brock Lesnar, you know, whether he hasn't been on TV and defended his title and blah, 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 and all this stuff, I want to remind you of going back to the 80s, if you remember that. you used to have a champion who used to defend his title 4 times a year, ladies and gentlemen. Or he would go to, like, the champion would go to, like, house shows here, there, and everywhere, and the championship usually wasn't even on the line. And better yet, going back to those 80s and the early 90s, the champions at that time, and even, quote, the biggest champion in the history, even in that particular company, he literally defended the title like 4 times a year, and that was usually the biggest pay-per-views of the year. He wasn't on all the TV shows. You would barely see him on the Sunday night shows. So, you know, we'll continue this in the final match. You know, I'm feeling ballsy. Maybe, just maybe, I'll show you some more of Jazz Vengeance coming your way.